everyone, welcome in or welcome back, and it's lovely to see you again. Today I have something kind of interesting to share with you guys. It's a little bit different than the things that I've already covered so far, in that these are actually plush doll hybrids. So I've seen this style of doll around for some time now, but they never really interested me too much. I thought that they were cute, but I didn't really think they were my style. That said, I'm always kind of down to at least try to see if something is cute, and so I was curious enough that I ended up buying 2 boxes. However, that was about 3 months ago, so I actually bought these confirmed so that I could know that I would like the designs at least for sure before jumping full into these doll plush hybrids. That said, because that was around 3 months ago, I actually don't remember who I ordered. Now, if you are unfamiliar with this line is actually also from Simon Toys. This is NYZAII or NYZAII, and a couple videos ago, I actually covered the doll line that they made based off of this line of designs that they have. So these dolls did not cover pre-existing ones from the plush toys or from the figures, but do carry the same style in terms of the eyes and the mouth, which you can kind of see reflected in the box art as well. So if you're more interested in these little ones, please do check out that video. And today we're going to be looking at these plush toys. Moving on to the box, on the front here we can see one of the designs of many, and if we flip to the side of the box, you can tell it's been somewhat mangled through the AliExpress shipping, but that's okay. We have 6 designs plus 1 hidden. So of our 6 designs, these are all fruit themed. So we have strawberries, apples, peaches, avocados, pears, and bananas. Now, I am pretty sure that I bought from this top row, but I don't remember which duo. I did think that these ones were also cute, but I personally really don't like bananas, and I don't really like green pears. I like yellow pears, which this one could be a yellow pear, but regardless, pears are not my favorite fruit, and the avocado one I actually did think was also very cute, but I'm almost certain that of the dolls that I bought from, I think I went with 2 from this top row. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get one of our boxes open. Looks like we have the peach one, and there's a little bit of a sparkly foil on the top of the card, which is so cute. I really like these little character cards that come with the dolls. My only issue is that they're always in different sizes, so I can't really get a standard card binder to hold them in. I would love to know what you guys do with yours, if you actually have them for display somewhere, or if you just keep them safely tucked off to the side. Seems like the front hair came separately, and there she is! She's a bald little baby! There's something very Teletubby-esque about them not having any hair. Alright, it might be cuter than I expected. So her hair plate is just attachable with a magnet that's on the back and on her forehead, and it stays in place like so. Her hair is sort of a soft lavender color, but is slightly more pink toned, and she has a couple of these scalloped white clips on each side of her hair. She also has some bluntly chopped bangs, which are quite cute. Her eyes are drawn in a dark purple, fades off into a slightly lighter purple just on the corners here. They use brown to draw her eyebrows and her eye creases, red to draw her cheek lines, and she also has some cheek blushing as well as a little bit on the tip of her nose. She has a very subtle little cat mouth, though from far away it does look like she's sort of pouting, and I love the style of eyes that they actually give these dolls. There's something really charming about the squiggly irises. So the outer brim of her irises are a light pink with the center being dark pink, and she also has a couple highlights. There's the main white highlight at the very top, a blue heart highlight, and a yellow dot as well, and that about covers her actual face. She's kind of a nice little desk friend, actually. I might like these more than I thought I would. I can feel that there's a little bit of a plastic piece inside the arms and stuff to give them structure. Or for the main plush herself, she's this peach color that matches nicely with the fruit. A very soft pink. She's a rabbit, so with her long ears, the underside is purple. And there's also a white ribbon where her ears are as well. She has a bonnet at the top of her head that is primarily white with a lavender ribbon and a darker purple frill going along the entire bonnet, and then white frill to decorate the edge of it. She also has a little collar, which has a couple layers of lace attached to white fabric and a white bow in the center where it connects. She has a fluffy little bunny tail, and on her feet are little embroidered patches, though I'm not 100% sure what they're supposed to be. Vaguely peach-like, but it's a little hard to tell. In any case, the top side is white and the bottom side is pink. Finally, she also comes with this velvety peach, which seems to have her on it, almost reminiscent of Momotaro. But it's this lovely pink color, and there's a couple details that are embroidered into it. So besides just the face, there's the little split here for the peach, and a cut of green fabric to make up the peach leaves. It would have been nice if her little peach accessory also had a magnet, but it seems like it just sits in her lap. So I took my gloves off to be able to feel the fabric better, and she's really quite soft. The plush body is well stuffed, and she's quite pleasant to the touch. I don't really really know where I'm gonna put them, but they're quite cute. I do think that given the full body plush suit, they do feel kind of like they're wearing kigurumis, I suppose, or onesies. I think this style of plush doll would be very cute to display in an Ita bag or backpack with a clear window in it. The size is also quite nice too. It's bigger than I expected, but they are a little bit bigger than the Mian Mian Adventure series. Their head sizes seem to be about the same, so it's mostly the plush body that makes up the bulk of her. It feels a little odd to be putting her aside so soon, but I think that about covers looking at her, so I guess we'll go ahead and open the second box. I went with this line because I'm quite partial to cute fruit or food themed designs, but a lot of the other series under these plush lines are really quite cute too. So we'll go ahead and open our second one now. Oh, okay. So it looks like I bought the apple one. There's her card. Oh, she's really cute. Oh my god, they're so bald. It's so cute. They really are just little babies. So for her hairpiece, her bangs are a little bit messier than our peach rabbits, and it is this sweet chocolate brown color. So she has a beaded white hair clip and a red hair clip. Her expression is a little bit different, and the color choices are a little bit different as well. So her eyelashes are drawn in brown, with darker brown taking the outer corners here. Looks like her eye color is fairly similar, but I think it is a little bit darker. It is still pink toned, but we do get kind of more of a red tinge to them, whereas the peach rabbit definitely has lighter eyes, and their expressions are slightly different as well. So she has a little bit more of a curious expression. For her plush body, it seems that she is also a rabbit, but a rabbit with significantly shorter ears. She has one ear that sticks up and another one that is curled, and the inner ear fluffs are a lighter beige. The overall fur for this one is kind of a soft brown, and she has a little bunny tail that's a darker brown than the rest of her body. She almost has a sailor style collar, or uniform style collar. So it has these two white sections with red running along the edges of them, and kind of a red triangular cut of fabric that details the edges of them. She has a black ribbon. She also has an apron. So the apron is attached to what seems like a bit of a faux leather strap, and then the apron is white and has that same sort of red fabric on the edges of them. A little bit easier to discern what her feet patterns are, which are, I mean, I guess they're basically cutie marks. She has a lattice crust style embroidery in brown on her right foot, and a cut open apple on her left, where you can see the stem and also the inside of the apple with the seeds. I think I actually like her more out of the two of them. She's really, really sweet. Additionally, she does have earmuffs, and the earmuffs are completely white, and at the ends have little bunnies on them. So just a little puff ball with two puffs on top, and this goes right over her head. She does also come with a little apple. Kind of looks like a pumpkin because of the oblong shape, but it is an apple with an apple stem, a little face embroidered into the apple, this time in white. I think for these ones, I'm going to cover my thoughts as a whole. So let me go ahead and get some things cleaned up, and we'll talk about everything overall. So here are the two plush dolls that we got today. So let's talk a little bit about them. I apologize for how simple this video is in comparison. What do I think of these dolls? They are very, very cute. I don't know if I would get more from this line in particular. I feel like I was more endeared by the concept than I was expecting. Given how popular these kinds of plush doll hybrids have gotten, so much that I know Penny Boxes is opening pre-orders for theirs quite soon. I was really quite curious to see why they were so well liked or what they were about. So I think that this one was a nice one to start with, in that the theming is something that I quite like, that being sort of fruit themes, and this apple one is really freaking cute. This peach one's also really quite freaking cute. But the general quality of them feels quite good. The fur is very soft to the touch, so I can see that this may pose a nice option for people who like dolls but maybe don't want to deal with the fuss of the bodies and don't really care to change clothes. I can see how this one might be a nice sort of sensory experience in that they're very soft to touch and they're a nice size, and whereas bringing around something like a doll, there's always the risk of like dropping parts or losing parts that are small and not super steady. This one might pose as a nice travel buddy in that regard, as in my real life job I've met a couple different people who like to carry plushies with them as sort of a little comfort. Also, generally speaking, they're not really shedding any of their fur, which is a good sign. That's something that I'm quite glad about. I think really my only criticism would have to be that I kind of wish that there were magnets or just something to keep the little fruit that they're supposed to be holding in place rather than just resting it on their legs. But that's kind of a personal preference. They would just kind of display better that way, but I can see why if you're bringing them around, maybe that doesn't really matter as much. Or if you're playing with them, then maybe having them attached doesn't really matter as much, but I think it would have been nice to have at least the option. Overall, they're a pretty nice alternative to the dolls that I'm used to. I am someone who generally prefers dressing them up or redressing them, so So while these don't necessarily satisfy all my needs, I do think that they hit a pretty nice middle ground between plushies, which I do really enjoy, and dolls, which I also really enjoy. I do think that they're kind of a nice option to have, and I can see the appeal of them after all. At first I thought that they looked a little odd, but you know, I can get the appeal of it. Especially with Labubus getting so popular, it might have a similar appeal. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I would love to know what you guys think of them though. I do ultimately think that adding the doll head onto the plush body was kind of an interesting product choice. And while I may not get any more from this specific line, although the strawberry one is very cute, I could see myself perhaps getting some of the ones from either other lines, whether that be from the NYZAII or from some of the other plush figure slash doll hybrids that exist out there. So I think that about covers my thoughts on them. I apologize for how short this one is. I do think that they're really cute overall though, and I was happy that I still had the chance to share them with you guys. Definitely a nice little refresher from all of the other dolls that I've been opening for the last little while here. So I'll go ahead and leave you guys with that. Remember that you're loved. Enjoy plush toys. They're very soft. They're there to be held. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.